Now you're sitting
And
there
now he's
with
sitting there with all the
no,
cutout.
no,
And he got
no stove.
he ain't got no-
Let's do it.
Right.
I'd like to call the January meeting of the Maumelle Civil Service Commission to order. Our first order of business is approval of the November Commission regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve the November minutes.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion passes. When did we meet last? November, I guess. Yeah.
November 14th.
Yeah. At that time, we were, I believe it was in that meeting, we had asked the city attorney to clarify some language for us that we wanted placed in our rules. So I will turn that over to you.
Well, it was my understanding, and I had to go back and watch the video to make sure that the motion actually was for me to clarify it, but what was happening was y'all were clarifying it, and then my understanding was that I was going to draft some proposed rule changes so that we can see that. I've put a copy at the desk for everyone. I've got a few extra copies out there. There's enough for everyone in attendance. And what I've done is highlight the portions that have been changed. And these aren't rules. This is just something for y'all to think about and then to possibly put into place in the future. I've highlighted everything. Anything that's underlined, excuse me, would be language added. Anything with a strike through would be language removed. And the idea here was just to allow experience from outside of the department to count for some of the minimum eligibility requirements. I also received comments that we didn't want a volunteer that was at a volunteer department to cross over directly, so I've added the full-time requirement. Also, it came to my attention that on the final page that this might create a scenario where someone would be a probationary employee in their first 12 months and also get a promotion, and then they have their probationary period for another 6 months. So I clarified that in that case, the 6-month probationary period is on top of the initial 12-month new hire probationary period. Whew. I think I've said that correctly. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If y'all want to look at this, and then if in the future, if you want to propose a rule change to get something like this added, just let us know.
Could I ask either one of those guys a question? Is it, can someone be promoted within a probationary period? Sam?
Well, this all started because of the situation where Officer Jackson came to us from Mayflower.
But he wasn't under probation.
He is.
He is on this department.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But he's got 10 years of police experience and police chief's experience and supervisor experience in Mayflower. It's a pretty unique situation. But yes, sir, I am asking that he be allowed to take the promotion test, even though he hadn't completed his 1 year here. And I think this language clears that up. It's not 1 year here, it's 3 years anywhere. Not a comparable case.
Yes.
But this is a pretty unique situation, and normally you would not promote in the first year
Oh, no, sir.
unless,
No, no.
unless it's something like
Well, we
this.
couldn't, if this passes. He would still have to have 3 years somewhere.
That was my question.
If
know it's
my memory serves, we have already voted to allow him to take
Yeah, you're right.
That's, yeah,
promotion testing.
yes.
This would be, in my eyes, something, and I would, if we don't have to do anything with this tonight, I would rather sit on it a month. And if the uniform employees have something they want to say about it, then we'll take that into consideration. I don't want to push anything on this tonight. Anything else on that?
But correct me if I'm wrong, if you're gonna consider this for rule change, we have to advertise that. Is that correct?
I don't have to have a final draft of what the rule would be in order to advertise it, but we do have to do some advertising if y'all are planning on amending that. So if, for example, y'all wanted to say at the next meeting, we would
Vote.
consider something, that would give us sufficient time to take this, and then we can make amendments in the interim.
Okay. At the next meeting, I intend to take a vote on it.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to advertise it then. Okay.
Under new business, just a reminder, we all have statements of financial interest that are due to the city clerk by January 31st. For those of you that have never done one of those, it's not particularly intrusive, and the categories are very wide. They're not going to figure out your net worth by looking at this, but it's something everybody has to do. And in fact, we had an official over in Conway get in trouble for backdating some that people turned in late, which is, I think, Chief, is that a felony?
I think it's a misdemeanor.
Tampering with public records?
She pled guilty to a misdemeanor and resigned from office and then immediately went back into office because she'd been elected.
Mark.
Crazy deal.
That's,
Chief Williams, you are requesting entry-level testing for police officer.
I am. We have exhausted our list. We got 2 applicants off this list, which isn't bad with that number. That's when we saw the list, we said we can get a couple of applicants, and we've done well. We still have 1 opening, and then we anticipate at least 3 next year because of the vacancy or new hires that the positions that the mayor and the city council have approved. So we anticipate hiring at least 4 people next year, and that's if nobody leaves us.
Chief, do you mean 2017,
I do, I don't know what I said.
next year?
Oh, I meant this year, again next year.
Just wanted to clarify.
So we normally do this in October,
Yes.
and you're
Yes.
requesting an early.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, because of the one vacancy we have one right now, we're not under any, real time constraints to hire the other 3. As a matter of fact, it'll be summer before we do that. But the one vacancy that we do have now, I'd like to move forward to hire as soon as we can. Yes, sir.
When are we gonna have an HR director?
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
You got one.
Yeah, well, he's doing a lot.
You just got to take off one hat and put on the other one.
Hopefully soon, that's all I'm gonna say.
How quickly could our interim HR director gear up for entry-level police testing?
Well, we could do it, I mean, I did it in October, so, I mean, we could,
You're ready to go.
we just gotta order the tests and all that, you know, we gotta, we'd have to advertise that we're gonna do the testing, and then, so we could go toward the end of February, 1st of March is what I would think we could meet that requirement.
And the training division has been, they're pretty good at helping everyone and others along with getting it done. There's not tons of work anymore on the entry level after getting the test ordered and getting the notices out there is a big thing.
Would you like to request some preferred dates?
If the mayor thinks late February will work, sure, the last Saturday in February would be perfect for us.
Okay. We will work toward that, hang on.
15 days notice, Mr. Norris, is that correct?
Sounds correct.
when would the next academy start after that, Chief?
Well, actually, that's an interesting subject right there too. There are now 3 academies. You got Camden, you got
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, and then Camp Robinson is putting the Central Arkansas Police Academy together. We're sending somebody through it. It'll be the first time for all of us, so we'll evaluate that. So during the course of the year, with 3 academies, it's not going to be
At different
Won't be
times?
hard to get.
Well, the one in January, the The one here in North Little Rock's gonna start in January, as will one in Camden, and then Camden traditionally has one in, late summer, and so does Pocahontas, so they kind of run together. And I don't know when again, a lot of it would depend on what happens on this, upcoming academy, but we could have an academy going every 3 or 4 months.
That would make things nicer.
And it is 10 days notice, chief.
Can I make one request? I've got something the 25th, and if I'm still the HR director, I couldn't be there on the 25th, which is the last Saturday. So could it be the 4th of May, or March, excuse me?
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
So do I hear a motion to approve March 4th for entry-level police testing?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? No. Motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So that'll be the first Saturday in March.
Yes, first Saturday in March. And then hopefully we can have them graded and y'all approve everything by the 13th or whatever, so at your next meeting.
And the fire department is requesting 2 temporary promotions.
Absolutely. We actually have a good situation where we actually exhausted the remainder of the list for captain and engineer. With promotions, they took place Saturday, so. Until the testing can be completed, what I did is I went by seniority. The senior engineer turned it down, so we went to the second person, which is Destin Weaver. So requesting that he gets moved to a temporary promotion of captain, and then Hunter McElroy is a senior firefighter, so he will move up to the engineer position until such time as we get done with the testing process.
We need to do those separately, or can we do them in one?
You can do them as one, unless there's going to be a problem with one of them.
What kind of problem?
Where one of them wouldn't be approved, but the other one would be.
Oh,
So if somebody wants to say yes on one but no on the other, it's kind of hard to vote when you have both in there.
gotcha. Okay, then I'm looking for a motion to approve a temporary appointment to fire captain.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the temporary appointment of a fire engineer.
Make that motion.
A second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, and say no. Motion carries. And you're not off the hook yet.
No, I'm still here.
Requesting a title change from engineer to lieutenant.
Right. I know this is gonna get somewhat maybe confusing for you guys because there's lieutenants in the police department and lieutenants in the fire department. However, this kind of puts us in line with North Little Rock Fire Department, and with our engineers, they step up and play captain, quite often, actually. So, there's no monetary difference in this, it's just absolutely a name change from engineer to lieutenant. Does that make sense to everybody?
So nothing changes but the title.
That's absolutely it.
Why do you want to be in line with North Little Rock?
And Little Rock doesn't have it.
Well, North Little Rock was just an example. The
Okay.
fire departments nationwide have a lot of departments have lieutenants.
I know Memphis does. Little Rock doesn't.
No. No, New Orleans doesn't either. New Orleans, they don't have lieutenant.
That's all I'm asking.
Just a glorified engineer is what it is.
Correct. Yeah. But it also
His
gives them
responsibilities doesn't change,
No,
his salary doesn't
no,
change,
they still step up.
he steps up to
whenever
captain.
there's a captain vacancy.
And everybody's happier after the name change.
90% of the people said yes, we're okay with this.
That's pretty good.
That's doing pretty good.
What the other 10% object
The
to?
other one said they didn't care.
Is my pay gonna change?
Got your border, it says engineer, they
Yeah.
have to change that.
Yeah.
Well, engineer, I mean, lieutenant does sound a little bit better than an engineer, I'll admit.
But having 3 officers on shift at the same time, that's kind of how I was looking at it. You've got 3 officers now and 1 non-officer. Or, I mean, I'm just saying positions. And it's, I don't know.
It's strictly a name change, that's all we're.
I have a question. It's a little bit outside of the scope of city attorney, but I have sat on the city council, and so one of my questions is when we've set salaries before, oftentimes we compare our engineer position to engineer positions in other departments. Has there been any look at by changing the name from engineer to lieutenant, if that drastically skews whether now our lieutenants are underpaid or overpaid relative to other lieutenants in other departments?
That is something, no, I have not looked at.
Okay.
I could do that. What you guys want?
It was just
We're strictly looking for, they're still gonna be driving the truck, they're just gonna have the title of lieutenant instead of engineer. If that makes sense.
But if the city council has to look at it, they won't look at it that way. If it becomes a problem in the budget, right? What you're saying?
Rank structure wise, there's no change in rank structure.
correct. And so I don't know that the council will not be seeing this decision, but in the future, the council or the mayor will be re-examining salaries and comparing them, trying to make sure that we have apples to apples. And so I was just wondering if there was going to be a difference in, although the job function is the same, apples to oranges now.
Chief, let me get an example. If Memphis lieutenant, how does that compare to a Maumelle lieutenant? How is their structure?
I'm not sure how their rank structure works. I mean, in some departments, a lieutenant is like the officer on the second apparatus out of the station, and the captain is the officer on the first apparatus.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly how their rank structure works.
Some companies have 2 units at a
Right.
station. There's one guy he's a station captain,
Right.
then the other are lieutenants. So you can find all kind of variations all over the country.
Y'all want to ponder this, or you want to consider it tonight? Pardon me?
I said this would be
I'd like to
Maumell's version.
look up
I guess I have
more
one
information on
question.
lieutenant compared to operator.
On a typical shift, you'll have a captain, right?
Right.
You'll have an engineer, which would now be a lieutenant.
Right.
And is there 2 others on that shift as well? Are they firefighters or
We
are they?
actually have,
Sometime.
what is it, 4, 3.
I'm sorry,
The staffing levels,
of what position?
just,
Units,
You got-
engine one,
you got
engine,
3 captains,
well, right, 3 captains,
right, 3
it'll be
engineers.
3 lieutenants, and then,
On each shift?
yes,
Yeah. We got 3 apparatus.
3 apparatus.
Yeah, right.
So each apparatus has a captain, when fully staffed and everyone's present, a captain, a engineer / lieutenant, and then 2 firefighters?
correct.
Okay.
And then there's 1 chief per shift, battalion chief.
Y'all want to think on this, or take a vote on it tonight?
Personally, don't see a big issue to me. Just a name change.
Do I hear a motion to approve the title change?
I'll make a motion to approve the title change from engineer to lieutenant.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the title change. All in favor, say yes. Yes. Any opposed, say no.
No.
4-1. And I need a motion to go into executive session to formulate oral interview questions for Fire Battalion Chief and Fire Captain.
I make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. We are now in executive session. Mr. Secretary, would you make note that we did not have a December meeting in our minutes?
Yeah.